already a lot of people at the booth of Airbus, Defense and Space Secure Land Communications. And there's a reason, because there's lots to do. That's the booth tour I'm going to do later. First, I'm going to interview Olivier Koczan, who's leading the organization over here. And Olivier is really into the partnerships with the company right now. And I really like to pick his brain on the next steps on those partnerships, because the ecosystem of critical communications is completely changing, not only with many of the other companies, but also within Airbus. You need to make your position ready for the future, right? So, future communications, that is very important. I also would like to pick his brain on Broadband, because that's one of the major projects Airbus is involved in. Very important. And maybe some other topics as well. Join me with the interview of Olivier Koczan. Olivier, thank you very much for having me here at the Airbus booth. You're basically at home, right? Here in Helsinki.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's good for us to be in Helsinki, where we have not only an R&D center, but we have a big team of secure land communication here in Helsinki, with a second one in the Uvascular, which is to the north.
Yeah. So this is an important event, specifically because it's in Helsinki, right?
But not only for that.
Not only for that.
Not only for that. No, because the CCW, it's an important event,
of course,
for our ecosystem, for our business. And what I can see here in Helsinki, it's the dynamic is there. I arrived yesterday, as all of us, and many people, very busy day already yesterday, and today, looking at my agenda, is going to be a very busy day as well.
Yeah, the second day is always one of the most busiest days, right? So you need to take advantage of that. That's very important. So there's lots going on in the whole world of critical communications, more than ever before. In the early days, we were selling a Tetra system or a critical communication system and some devices, and that was it. Now you need a whole ecosystem to propose to customers. That means that you need to establish relationships with other companies. How difficult is that?
I would not say it's difficult. As I said, the ecosystem is super dynamic. So I take it as a great opportunity, because our logic, our intention is to partner with other companies, etc., to complement our offer and to be able to propose to the market, to the customer, to our end user, fully fledged, fully integrated end-to-end solution. And the intention of Airbus is not to do everything everywhere for everyone. We know that we provide our core building blocks, the one that we really master, that we develop, and the intention is to partner with as many as possible other companies, etc., local one, more regional one, or global one, with the clear intention to value their own product, their own solution.
Okay, so
the combination of what they do and what we do shall create the value for the end user.
So that should create synergy, right? So it should be added to the Airbus portfolio.
Absolutely.
Are there certain areas where you're looking at specifically?
The broadband is a kind of large open door to the IT world. So when it comes to business application, whatever it is, this is clearly an area of partnership, business application, computer-aided dispatch, video analytics, whatever. When you go some of the other around, when you look at the device and all the accessories that are absolutely fundamental, because in my view, without the proper accessories for the end user in the street, in the car, taking the benefit of what some of the solution, the broadband solution can provide them, is going to be a challenge. So they need to have the right tool in the end, in the car, to benefit from that. And it's all about the accessories. And of course, there is the world of IoT. So there are many areas where partnership makes sense. And we are really looking for the right partner.
And what kind of ingredients does that partner need to have in order to join the Airbus ecosystem? Because if you talk about accessories, there are many manufacturers of accessories. One is better than the other. So how do you define the right partner?
First of all, we take as a top priority the ability to match the end user expectation, the end user demand. Because this is where we really see the value of an accessory of, you see what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the one who decide are the end user. Does it fit with what they need or not? So the first selection criteria is this one. Do you have the product that fit the end user demand? And then, of course, because we are in the public safety or the industry, they don't want to change their tool, their mean every 6 weeks, every year, etc. You need to have continuity, so the ability somehow to announce and hopefully to commit on a roadmap with mid and long-term visibility is also essential. And of course, whether they are local, global, regional, it's also a criteria that we take into consideration. But for me, the key two are, does it fit with the end user needs? Do we have visibility, commitment on mid and long-term basis for the roadmap? Okay. That's essential. You cannot offer something to a customer, public safety or industrial customer, and say, you know what, you want to buy it? Sorry guys, it does not exist anymore, you have to look for another one. And then they will have to be trained again, to learn again, etc.
So everything needs to be integrated with each other, all of these accessories, and so you're looking at an easy integration. But what about quality? Because you stand for kind of quality of product, right? That's also important.
But quality is part of the end user requirements.
Yeah, exactly.
It has to work in a very demanding situation. Okay? They are not sitting in their sofa. Huh? So they are in the street facing adversity, etc. So it has to work. So quality is essential.
Yeah. Okay. Now, on another note, we're looking at Broadway project, or the Broadnet project, actually. That is really taking off. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about the current status of that project?
The Broadway project, you mean?
Yes.
We are extremely happy with the conclusion of this project. So there is the next phase, the Broadnet, and this is something which is moving on. And I do believe that there is a bright future for it in Europe, but not only because it's going to be applicable elsewhere, but this is fundamentally, originally a European project. So there is a strong and clear will at the European Commission to push for it and to go for it. There are many projects, big projects at the European Commission where we can imagine an easy or an obvious complementarity between Broadway, Broadnet, and other projects. I'm thinking specifically to IRIS². IRIS² is a satellite communication, but there is some of the terrestrial part of the project, and there are likely some complementarity to be considered in that area. So I see it very optimistically.
Okay, so do you think then that we are going to a situation where each country still has their own nationwide network for critical communications and an overall Broadnet network that supports cross-border communications, for example? Or is Broadnet not one step too far?
I don't think it is one step too far. Yes, every country will have their public safety broadband communication network. They will be interconnected to each other using somehow the outcome, the result of the Broadway, and it is going to be the Broadnet infrastructure connecting all the national network together.
And that is a major task, right? That is one of the biggest tasks we have ever seen in critical communications, to connect all of those countries under one ecosystem.
Yes, but yeah, we did it. Maybe not to the same extent. We did it already. Cooperation and interconnection between network across country, it exists. Yeah. And it's not in Europe, it's not Broadway, but we are right now working in the Middle East with the GCC country, and pretty similar situation there. Every country has its own network, and what they want to do is to interconnect them in order to facilitate cooperation at the border, joint operation, etc. And this is the same objective. Not the same technology in that can, but the same objective.
And that has become more easier than ever before, right? Interconnecting networks. I can remember about in 2003 or 2005, we were looking at interconnecting different networks here in Scandinavia already. I can remember. That was a difficult task.
Yeah,
vendors,
I think it's easier now. It's easier now because we are more or less all somehow going toward the same direction with respect to the standard, the kind of technology, etc. Yes, different vendors, supplier, that's normal, but fundamentally the same technology. In the past, it was not the case. Some were using Tetrapol, other one were using Tetra, some other one were using something else, 25 whatsoever. So it was more complex. But with this some convergence of the technology toward one single set of solution, I think it's going to be easier.
Okay.
Yeah. Even if from the technology by itself, it's much more rich, meaning also much more complex. Because it's not only interconnecting for voice communication, it's the video, the data, the etc. And also
IoT, it's even satellite
IoT, and not forgetting the voice. The scope is much broader, which creates somehow complexity, but at least there is one shared technology, which is helping. My view is that in last year, and maybe you remember we were discussing that when we met each other in Vienna. I see 2022 as a kind of turning point, a kind of we change gear. Things are accelerating. Talking about Airbus, last year we achieved several successes, not only in Europe, in various places of the world, which is somehow materializing our plan, materializing our view of the market trend, and that makes me optimistic about the future because we have changed the gear.
So you have changed the gear, but your customers, your end users, have changed that as well.
Absolutely,
that is exactly.
And we go together, of course. When we met it was in June, I guess.
Yes.
The decision about the RRF was not taken, but now it's behind us. We are in the implementation phase. That's a major project for France, but for Europe and globally for the entire ecosystem. We got some great success in the Middle East, in APAC, in Singapore, in Latin America. So you see what I mean? There is an acceleration.
Yeah, we're not talking about it anymore. We're just doing it, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
No, my pleasure.